have the theme song?
No.
Oh.
It would just be way too much. Hold on. I'm gonna just double check really quick just to make sure we're live. Oh fuck, this is so weird sitting like
Welcome, campers.
Oh my god, they're just gonna see my feet the whole time?
Ew,
God damn it. My feet are dirty.
So
Oh, okay, I'm gonna keep my feet crossed. Okay, there we go. Boom. We got everything working. Wait, hold on. Let me grab my phone for the topics.
Okay.
Do you have any topics?
No. Got them at the top of my head.
Really? Okay. Hold on, really quick, guys. I just got a ring notification. I want to make sure no one's. What the? I got scared. I was like, what is that? That's Lola's butt.
Oh my god.
Okay, hold on. Let me open up the topic-a-roonies. Here we go. This is a terrible freaking intro.
Setup. I know. Sorry.
But boom! Whoa, this mic seems so long
so awkward.
and extra. Should I make it shorter or straight?
I think mine's cool.
Okay, boom. This is so weird. Okay.
I know. It feels so awkward right now.
Boom. Here we are.
Back with another episode of 10 Talks.
Episode 32 of 10 Talks. This is
really weird.
Look how much shorter I look than you.
I know.
I look like a little kid.
Oh
But
God.
obviously
That's the way I'm sitting.
we are not in the old location, or not the old location, but at our apartment right now. It's because we had to take a trip somewhere just up north or something like that. But we are in a hotel room.
Obviously.
Exactly. And I know you guys are probably wondering, why the fuck are we using this angle of us on the bed? And that is because we needed to get the cheapest motel room possible, and that, we came with little to no space. Like right next to us is like a chair, and then like some like laundry hamper and an air conditioner and the door. So it's like we have this is the only
thing we could work with.
Yeah, so it's either gonna be like us sitting like this up against the wall, or we can like sit forward and have our feet dangling behind us.
Like sleepover?
Like a sleepover thing, but I feel like that would be really weird. But anyways, Riley and I, we try to keep consistent, so we thought
we're like, might as well take it mobile.
Yeah, exactly. And also what's cool is like through the evolution of us like getting all this like different shit for the podcast. It's like originally I had a Focusrite just for one mic for like my computer setup so I can like stream and stuff. I still have that Focusrite, and then when we kind of like we realized we needed two mics for the podcast, we got this Focusrite that has two inputs. And then once we got to this final setup where we realized that we're gonna need up to four for guests, we have like the whole Focusrite thing set up at home for four mics, but we have this one still left over from the last purchase with two mics, and it's like a perfect. I was telling Riley, it's like the perfect to-go podcast setup.
Yeah, the travel size.
And it's like originally I was kind of worried about being able to set everything up and all that stuff, but like it's pretty fluid. It's like pretty easy. Just put in Focusrite, put in the DSLR camera, and we're set.
Yeah, I felt like it was a really fast setup today.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we're getting it down. We're 32 episodes in, so we're getting super used to it. And
but it was so funny when we were on our way over here.
The airport. I was gonna just say that.
Oh my god. Okay, we should start with that.
I was literally thinking that I'm obviously I'm a stoner, and I've talked with my friends before about potentially. Oh wait, hold on. Your mic has to be turned around. Press the pins in right here, and then turn the mic around all the way. There you go. That's it. And then try to loosen this up, and then tilt the mic. There you go. Boom. All right. But either way, I've talked about with my friends before about the idea of, like you're a stoner, you want to go visit around, you got to take a plane somewhere. I don't want to go to some place and buy some random swag weed. I'm going to bring the weed with me to this cool new place I'm visiting. So a lot of people, everyone's thought about sneaking weed with them on an airplane. Yeah. I didn't do that. I'm just letting you guys know. But the number one rule you always follow when you're sneaking weed with you on an airplane is never put it in your electronics, because police, not the police, but what is it called? The TSA or whatever it's called. TSA. Okay, TSA. So the TSA, they're looking specifically for liquids and electronics. So wherever you keep your weed, keep it in your clothes or something like that. Somewhere where there's no electronics. I literally had one backpack full of laptop, hard drives, wires, like literally a whole backpack full of a bunch of laptop equipment, a bunch of wires, and then another backpack full of audio equipment, mic stands, and like just all like literally all this electronics and all this sus looking shit. And we had to spend like 40 minutes in the airport while they like scanned my backpack like 3 times. And I was telling them literally the first time they took my backpack, I was like, hey, I was like, I know why you guys are tripping. I was like, I have a bunch of electronics in there. And also what's even funnier is like the backpack that they were tripping about is like my camera bag, and the camera bag is divided into these like sections in the back, and I put both my microphones on left and right, and then when you're looking at it through an x-ray, it just looks like there's 2 cylinders on each side. And even when I was looking through the x-ray, I was like, oh my god, that looks so it looks sus, it looked like a bomb or something. And I told the lady immediately, I was like, yo, I was like, there's a bunch of podcast equipment in there. I was like, can you like open up the backpack in front of me and I'll explain to you what all these items are. And she's like, no, don't worry, we have to run it through the thing again. And then she takes it back, they run it through the x-ray again, and then they take it back again, run it through the x-ray again, and then finally she's like,
not only that, but there's hella people, like every person got their bags relooked at. I feel like,
but we got our shit relooked at multiple times.
You had to get yours, like one back got looked at like 3 times, I feel like. And
it's so frustrating. Like they should have a different section for people who have tons of electronics, like, because the rule at the TSA is they told you if you have like a backpack full of clothes, you can just leave it there, take all your stuff out of your pockets, put it in a different bin and go. But if you have a backpack full of electronics, you're supposed to take each and every one of the electronics out separately, put them in their own bin, which is like, you're going to be holding up the line there for an hour doing that shit. So like, I obviously didn't do that. I left all my stuff, all my electronics in the bag. I only took my laptop out, and they didn't really say anything. They didn't tell me like, oh, blah, blah. They just had to scan it hella times.
Which was so annoying. But luckily, we were hella early for our flight.
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
But
so good thing it got
what
delayed.
did you think about the flight? It's hella short, right?
It's hella short, and I haven't been on an airplane in so long. And like, honestly, like when I was a kid, it's like I remember being scared and nervous and anxious of like airplane flights as a kid, but then you don't really understand the risks of exactly what's gonna happen. But when I was in this airplane now, like now that I'm like older and I can understand, like, dude, when we took off, like we're cruising, the airplane's cruising around the parking lot going like maybe 30 miles per hour, and then as soon as the airplane is like, all right, we're about to lift off, they just go and it's like 500 miles per hour instantly, and it's like the airplane is going so fast, there's no room for error. Like you can't even like go left and go right really quick. Like as soon as you make any error, like you're just gonna you're going so, it was so scary. Like that's why I told you as soon as we took off, I was like, babe, I'm closing my eyes, I'm gonna try to go to sleep. Like and I realize why people always talk about how they take Xanax before a flight. It's that shit's scary, dude. Like you literally, it's like you can die.
It's like, okay, so all the past couple times I've taken an airplane, I've taken it by myself, because it's like I would come see you
as soon as I had that,
go home, and oh my god, I fucking hate that. I literally do the blessing on myself just like in case, right before, like I get so fucking nervous, and it's that initial takeoff that is the scariest part.
Yeah,
when you're like just vibrating hella in the air. I hate it.
Dude, that's something I was thinking about too. Is I felt so bad. Is when Rylee and I first started dating, Rylee would have to fly out to me constantly, and there was one time I visited you, but you would just fly out to me like 3-4 times.
But you drove. We never flown.
Oh yeah, I drove. That's true. And that was our first flight together. But that's what I thought that's what was going on in my head. Was like, I was like, damn, Rylee had to do this like 4 times for me, there and back. I felt so bad. I was like, I was being so selfish, being like, oh, I miss Rylee, I'm all sad. But like, you had to bust this huge mission of like packing all your stuff, getting on this scary ass fast going airplane,
exactly,
getting picked up by me. You. Oh my god. Oh, I know, you're the best. I love you so much. That shit was terrifying.
I know, but it was crazy because flying with you, like when that happened, I felt like super calm.
Really?
Yeah. I wasn't freaking out at all.
Yeah, it
was
a
little
pretty
scary
chill.
Still, but just I hate it. I hate just being in the air like that.
I know, that was terrible. And honestly,
locked
like
in, nowhere to go.
I love smoking weed, and like right before we left, I rolled up 2 joints, and Riley's like, "You're really gonna smoke 2 joints right now?" And I was like, in my head, I was like, "Yeah, like we're about to take a flight. Like I want to get super faded, and then like I'll be good by the time we get there." And I was so nervous, like it added to my anxiety. Where like when I was on the plane, I was like, "Dude, I don't want to die." I was like tripping out, and I don't know, man. Planes are just fucking sketchy. And you know what's funny is like cars are more dangerous. Everyone knows that you're more likely to get in a car crash than an airplane crash. Like it's like, you know, it's a well-known statistic. But when you get in your car and you're driving, especially when you're in the freeway going, you know, 90 miles per hour, cutting people off and doing all this stuff, like you never feel like, oh, like this could be it. I'm scared, you know, like doing the fucking cross thing.
Know.
But when you're on the airplane, like you're like, dude, this is so sus. Like, it doesn't feel right, you know?
Yeah, and then I would tell you how scared I would be on airplanes, and you're like, it's so much safer than driving a car.
I know,
I'm
dude.
Like, you don't understand floating above water, and you don't know what could happen.
Bro, when we were landing,
we were so close. I was like, something's going wrong.
Oh, I know. When we were landing, Riley and I were like, we're like above land the whole time. I mean, yeah, above like land the whole time, above land. And then right before we were like the pilots said we were landing, I see like water below us, and I was like, oh shit, like we're flying above water. And then I just see us like getting lower and lower and lower, and then it got to this point where in my head I was like, no, that's it. Like we're too low. Like they're like, I think this is bad. And then like I turned around and I was like looking at Riley, and she's like, I think we're like hella low right now. And I was like, I know. And then I couldn't look out the window anymore after that. I was just closing my eyes.
It's like 2 seconds later is when we landed though.
Dude,
it was like right.
It was so fucking close.
Oh my god, it was so close. I was like, wait, is it close? And you're like,
it's fucking hella close, dude.
So scared.
Like, just the idea of like thinking of an airplane and like this whole business around the fucking, you know, people flying all the time is just, it's crazy, dude. You like the takeoff, the landing, you have 50,000 pounds of metal and fucking human meat in the air just fucking flying. It's fucking crazy, dude.
I know. I hate it. I really avoid it at all costs.
Fucking airplanes.
I do have a story actually about weed and airplanes.
You took weed on an airplane?
No, okay, so when a couple years back me and my friends went to Vegas for Hannah's birthday, and when we got there we went to the dispensary to get like weed and stuff, and we got hella weed.
Oh, you told me. I remember this.
Okay, so like our last day, everybody was leaving. Everybody left before me and my other friend Alicia. So we were the last ones to leave, and then we're starting to clear out the hotel room, making sure. And then we have this huge pack of pre-rolls, like hella pre-rolls, and we're like, oh shit, like we spent so much money on this, like should we do it, should we try it? Because I was like, is it legal, since it's legal in California to smoke, to like transport it if you're not checking it on the plane? Yeah,
I think there are some rules
but
around
then I was
that.
like, fuck, we're in Vegas, we're in a different state, like I don't know. And I was like freaking out, and I was like even texting my sister, I was like, have you guys ever tried to do this?
Really?
She's like, no, don't do it. And
by the time you went to Vegas, though, it was already illegal in Nevada, I think.
No, I don't.
Really?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
No, I think it wasn't. I don't think it was.
Don't listen to me.
But yeah, she was telling me, no, don't take it. And so I was like, okay, if my sister's saying don't take it, I don't think I should take it.
Yeah.
But I just kept looking at all the weed, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to try it. And so I wrap it in like a sweater, put it in my suitcase. We're going to the airport, and we had to like weigh our suitcases on the thing. And she was like, oh, like it's overweight. Like, can you please try to take some clothes out? And I go to the bathroom, open up my suitcase, and it just smells hella bad like weed.
Oh
and I
my
was like,
god.
oh my god, I don't think I should do this. So I threw the pack in the garbage like right there, and I was like, this hurts so bad.
No.
But I took out like hella sweatshirts and then checked my bag in. Once I got off the plane, I went home, opened my bag, and I got like a card in there saying you were randomly like inspected by
TSA or some shit.
Blah blah blah.
Oh my god.
And I was like, oh my god, thank
God I threw it away. I thought this was a different story where like once you landed, you realized you actually had the weed with you the whole time.
No.
Oh my god,
yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
Good thing you threw it away.
Dude, that was a sign.
The fucking weed smell.
No. They do check, so don't do it.
Yeah, you have to be sneaky. There's tons of stories of people doing it successfully, though. You know what's my favorite story is my the guy who made our shot glasses, Johnny Weiss. He's a glass blower, and he told me that like a way that glass blowers sneak their wax into like different countries, especially when you're going to China or Japan and like places like that where it's super illegal. They basically make a pendant, like a hollow pendant, and you fill it all the way with wax, like with a bunch of wax, and then basically you can like they're really good at glass blowing, so they can reseal the thing from the top, and then you have a fully sealed glass pendant. And then they talked about how like that's basically how they would sneak wax into other countries. Is like people would be like, oh, what's that pendant? And you're just like, oh, just the necklace, you know, like show it around, and then you stuff it with so much wax, and also you can use a color that's not transparent, you know, so it just looks like a closed pendant, and that's it. And then there's no cork or anything. But then what you do is once you get to the place, you just break it, and then you just have to like use that as a dish for your wax or something like that.
The stoner life is real.
Dude, I've always wanted to do that. I've always like thought of like of hitting up Johnny, being like, dude, can you make me one of those wax pendants so I can just like sneak that? It's kind of like you know that dude Dogface. He always wears that wax pendant.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But that's like very obvious. That's he's wearing a container on his neck. I'm talking about making something that like looks just like a pendant. You know,
same
like
idea though.
Yeah, exactly. But it just literally closed in there, and there's no opening it. Like you just fucking break it open.
Look like wax like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. I want to put my feet straight out so bad because I suck at sitting in this monk position, but my feet are dirty.
My feet are so dirty,
and I don't want people to make fun of me.
That's the thing about these fucking hardwood floors.
I know.
Like it doesn't matter how much you clean them, they're always gonna get dusty. I don't know. They're just always fucking crusty.
Our floors are always crusty.
No matter how much you sweep or mop, it's like a couple hours later, it's gonna be gross again.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. That's 100% true. So you have no topics written down.
I just gave a story.
That's true.
I'm giving to this conversation.
That's true. You're right. You know what's funny is one of the topics I have written down. I literally suck at doing this because every time I'm thinking about writing a topic, I always like write it super vaguely, and then whenever we're doing the show, I'm rereading it and I'm like, I should have added more detail to like remember what I was actually thinking about, and I'm having that problem right now. One of my topics is Aaron versus H3. Who the fuck is Aaron?
Who's Aaron?
That's what I'm saying.
Aaron Carter?
I think we were talking about Aaron Carter or something, and I accidentally wrote Aaron, but I was thinking about writing what's his name? Aiden.
Oh, Aiden Ross.
Aiden Ross. Dude, you know what's funny? You have a little booger.
Oh.
You know what's funny is you saw today Adam posted that he lost a game of like poker with Ninja. I just watched the what's it called, Drama Alert, and Keemstar was talking about how he set up a poker game between like 10 huge streamers, and Adam and Ninja were one of those participants or whatever, and Keemstar has obviously huge beef with H3, and H3 the past week or two has been going on a fucking rant trying to call out people who get sponsored by poker sites or like get sponsored by gambling sites and all this stuff or whatever. And I thought it was kind of like a funny backhanded thing that Keemstar did, where he's like he sees all this shit that H3's talking, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna throw up a gambling event with all the biggest streamers in the world, and then let's see you talk shit about all the biggest streamers in the world.
I did not even think about it like that until you just said it.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, that is hella funny.
Dude, literally H3 is gonna corner himself. Like he's gonna corner himself into a thing where he's gonna talk shit about every single celebrity or every single YouTuber, and he's gonna have no one left except Hila and his 3 employees. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, dude. And also it's like a lot of his, I feel like a lot of, there's no people who only watch H3. If you watch H3, you probably watch Keemstar, you probably watch No Drama, you probably watch like all types of different other YouTube content. And then when you're watching YouTube content from one person that's talking shit about every other person you watch, at some point it's gonna get annoying. It's like a lot of people always comment that they're just like, dude, stop going on these canceling tours.
It's like, how do you watch that? Like watch it back and like think it's a good piece of content just to like consistently put out the same shit.
Honestly,
he puts out the same shit about. He recycles the same shit about everybody.
Exactly.
Like it's crazy.
And honestly, I feel like he does this because Rylee and I have talked about this before, where for a long time on my YouTube channel I was posting 9 to 10 minute vlogs like literally every day or whatever, and maybe from one of my vlogs that's like 10 minutes long I've made like $4 or $5 after 4 or 5 years. But like obviously the shorter of a YouTube video you have, the less AdSense you make. And he does 2-hour podcasts minimum, and he's only doing the podcast. He doesn't like posting 10-minute videos anymore. He only does the podcast because he knows he gets way more money doing it. And to be honest, in my opinion, if H3 went back to making his, how his old videos were, where he would clown people, it was literally like 10-minute videos of him clowning, Spider-Man and Elsa or something like that. If H3 just like used his comedic talents and like his editing skills to just make a 10-minute video talking shit about Aiden Ross, it would come off way better than him ranting for 3 hours about the same thing over and over and over again.
Like we were trying to watch one of his videos the other day, and I was telling Yuri, I was like, can we just not watch this anymore? It's just so repetitive.
It's funny because when we first got together, it was like
we both loved it.
Yeah, we'd always be like, dude, we always like try to keep up to date, always watch the new ones.
You like H3? Me too.
And then we would always watch the new ones, and then recently it's turned into a thing where like we see a new one's up, and it's just like, Rye's like, I don't even want to watch that, and I'm just like, yeah, you're right. I'm kind of putting it on because you have nothing else to watch, but yeah, I don't even want to watch this either. It's like, it's so hypocritical. It's like what I talked about in the last episode of 10 Talks. Even now that he's been talking so much shit about all these people who are getting sponsored by gambling sites, even now he hasn't even talked about the coins that he made. You know, he made a H3 coin, he made a ELA coin, he made a Zach, he made a freaking, not a coin but NFT for every single one of his employees and ELA and himself, and they all sold for like, dude, some of them sold for like $20,000, $30,000 and stuff like that, and he was hyping him up so much when they're trying to get him off their hands, and then as soon as all of them are sold, I still haven't heard a word from him about it, you know? And some of these people who probably bought these NFTs were expecting, you know, him to hype it up more so other people want him too, so they can maybe potentially make some profit off it and sell to someone else who wasn't able to get it at the time. And like, no, those things are probably going down in value. And that's probably I haven't looked into it, but we should probably look into it. I bet you those coins or those NFTs are super down in value right now, where like everyone who spent 20,000 on them are like, why'd I do this? You know, I should have bought fucking Bitcoin or some shit.
Definitely. You don't hear anybody talking about NFTs anymore.
Yeah, you know what's funny is like I've posted I think I've posted something on Instagram talking like saying that I don't really think NFTs are that great, and then I have a lot of people DMing me going like, that's dumb, NFTs are the future, like you don't know, blah blah. But it's so speculative, you know. It's like the reason why Pokemon cards are some Pokemon cards are so sought after and so expensive, and like, you know, people are willing to spend $1 million on a card is because in the 90s, in the late 80s or whatever, there was millions of kids who were into Pokemon, and now all those millions of kids are, you know, like have jobs and fucking have houses and cars and are able to like rebuy their memories from children, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like the reason why there's a value is because it played a part in our culture, you know what I mean? Like as a whole, everyone knows about Pokemon. It was in the news, like it was a big ass thing. That's why everyone knows about it. It's like that's why it's so viral. But like some of these NFTs, it has nothing, you know. It's hella random. It's hella random. It's like, yeah, oh, okay, this artist might be kind of cool. It's like, that's it. You might just like this artist, and you're willing to spend that much money on that on that NFT. But it's just like, a lot of people might not care. You know what I mean? Like the group of people who will care about that NFT is way smaller compared to stuff that actually played a part in human culture and like human fucking media consumption and stuff like that.
I agree with that. Aaron versus H3.
Fucking Aaron. Why?
Wait, so, okay. That's basically just what you wanted to say.
Dude, this is why I'm upset. Is because I don't think so. I think I have wanted to say something else, but that's what came to my freaking head.
Dude, I can't believe, has anybody called out H3 for the NFT thing right now, since he's like...
I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know.
That is such a good point.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's like, he hasn't said anything about it. And we keep up to, you know, we talk about how we don't watch his stuff, but then after 2-3 days of like having nothing new to watch, you're like, fuck it, I'll watch this fucking thing. Yeah, while you're cleaning or some shit. And then, yeah, it's like he doesn't talk about any of the things he sold. And it's probably, like I said, probably because they're not doing that great.
Exactly.
One thing I have listed is the LAPD backhanded article about the mask mandate. I thought this was just really funny. And this is not, before we even get into this topic, I don't want to have anyone think that we're approaching this from a pro mask or a con mask position. Like, I'm only bringing up this topic because I thought it was just funny. You know, it's like almost like an episode of South Park where everyone knows recently there's been this huge rhetoric around defunding the police, and like everyone knows that the police make too much money. It's like they get so much money from the government and all this stuff, and like they're always asking for more, and they're always like doing these like little techniques so that the next year they can ask for more money, and they'll be like, oh, crime rate's fucking high as fuck, we need more money and stuff like that. That's honestly probably why they aren't doing anything about these shoplifters. So to continue my topic is there's this huge rhetoric around defunding the police and all this stuff, and a lot of people are you know, pro defunding the police, but the police haven't been defunded. Like, they haven't lost any type of money yet. They haven't really lost any resources. Like, they haven't lost anything. It's just like a rhetoric going around right now. And this article came out in Bloomberg, like I think like a month ago or something like that, where they interviewed the LAPD and the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. and they basically asked them like, hey, we're now that this mask mandate is like back into effect, are you guys gonna enforce it? Like, if you guys see someone walking without a mask or in a store without a mask, are you gonna write them a ticket or take them to jail if they're not being compliant or something like that? And the police basically were saying like no, like they're like, and they didn't just say no. I think I don't want to look for it, but hold on, let me see if I can find it. In their statement, it was such a funny backhanded comment where the police were like, in short terms, they were like, oh, with this we're too defunded and under with this like they're basically saying like with this defund rhetoric going around and with us being so underfunded. Okay, here we go. So let me just read what was written in the Bloomberg article. It says, Los Angeles County Sheriff said he won't enforce the new order for mask indoors regardless of vaccination status because it's not backed by science. And that's something else that I thought was really funny is like they're fucking attacking the legitimacy of COVID. You know what I mean? Like now the police is like they're being so petty that they're like, this shit ain't even real. You know what I mean? Like they're really like throwing a fucking like, I don't know, what the fuck is the term? They're fucking up the system. They're fucking shit. I can't think of the fucking term or whatever. I'm too high. And then it continues. The health department has the authority to enforce the order, but okay. So this is the quotes. The authority to enforce the order, but the underfunded/defunded Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department will not expand our limited resources. And instead ask for voluntary compliance, said blah blah blah, this police officer. And then the quotes continue. Establish mandates. Please. It says like establish mandates that are both achievable and supported by science. And that's like another backhanded thing saying like choose something that is actually possible to enforce and is actually a real thing. They're once again attacking the legitimacy of COVID. So I just thought that was freaking really funny. Is like the police are now. They're like, oh, you guys want to defund us? We're not going to fucking enforce the mask rules. And then not only the mask rule, but I'm pretty sure I've never kept up with the news my entire life. But for some reason, the past 2 months, Rylee has seen, I've just been watching news article after news article, just keeping up with LA news, Bay Area news, Florida news, New York news, just like all this random news shit. Just like, I don't know, just trying to learn about like what the hell is going on in the world through the news, which is they always say is like kind of, you know, obviously biased and stuff. But either way, in the news, they're always talking about how the crime statistics are hella high, like super high up this year in Los Angeles and everywhere else. Like the gun violence in Los Angeles is like up 300%. Like it's crazy. They're comparing it to like Chicago and stuff like that now. And not only that, but the shoplifting, like there's tons of videos going around about it, especially from the Bay.
The one with the backpack.
Dude, the one with the huge backpack that just went viral. People are just going to Targets and just loading up like tons and tons of jeans and all this types of stuff, and they're just like walking out the store. And like some of these fools aren't wearing masks. They don't even care because they know that even if they get caught, it's a misdemeanor. If you get caught stealing anything below $1,000, it's a misdemeanor. So they're not even gonna write you a ticket type shit. They're just gonna tell you like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Exactly, and that you get to leave or whatever. So a lot of these people aren't even scared about getting in trouble because you can't really get in trouble for it. And I watched a news video where a lot of these people who are stealing this stuff, they're basically stealing a bunch of clothes, going to swap meets and going like, hey, you see these brand new, you know, like these jeans or this Gucci jacket, or like it's all this real stuff, and they're just like, hey, I'll sell it to you for a third the price, and you can actually sell it for real price. So they get rid of everything instantly and get a bunch of money for it. But it's interesting, like my whole life I've never seen that type of shit where you can go into a store, load up a backpack, and I remember stealing shoes and stealing pants for myself when I was a kid from Ross. It was so hard. You had to fucking they had alarm systems on it. If the alarm went off, the fucking security guards would come chasing you. Like I would go into Ross with a screwdriver. You would stick the screwdriver into the alarm thing, pop it off. You would some of the like pants and shoes would have the ink thing. Have you ever seen the ink thing where if you take it off it explodes ink? You would just bring a rag with you. Put it around it, explode it, and then boom, put the shoes on and dip and shit. And it's like I used to do that shit, and it was always hella hard. Never in my life did I feel like I could go into a store, take a bunch of stuff and dip. And I feel like now it's like the police with this mask shit, they're applying this same, you know, like logic or mentality to probably all types of other crimes. You know what I mean? Like they probably don't give a fuck right now at all.
No, they definitely don't.
It's crazy, dude. It's fucking insane. And it's like right now, whenever there's a huge spike in crime, people always say like, oh, people are committing crime right now because people need to feed themselves, need money, and there's no jobs available. You know, like people need jobs and they can't find jobs. Right now is like there's so many jobs available everywhere in the United States. Like you can go look it up on YouTube. There's tons and tons and tons of YouTube videos of people walking into restaurants and it says help wanted for all positions. Like you see that sign. I've never seen that sign in my life. You see that sign almost at every store now. Like every place is looking for someone, a cashier, fucking anything basically. And
because everything's busy as hell right now.
Everything's busy as hell.
Everybody's understaffed.
And a bunch of people like you know would rather collect their unemployment checks than actually work or whatever.
Exactly.
And so basically right now there's no excuse for this crime committing because there's jobs fucking everywhere. You can get a job anywhere right now, and I'm pretty sure with people like there's tons of videos of people being like desperate for employees that they're not even like checking if you're a good employee or not. They're giving you bonuses for staying a month. They're like giving like $400 bonuses if you stay a month. McDonald's went viral recently because they're giving you $50 just to apply, just to submit a job application. They'll pay you $50.
Yeah.
Like that's how bad like some companies, you know, a lot of companies right now need employees. And so there's really no excuse for like saying like, oh, I gotta go commit crime because I can't find a job when there's all these jobs available. It's literally probably because the police doesn't give a fuck right now.
It's definitely that, and people are just being lazy.
Yeah, I forgot.
Because there's so much easy money to get right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, think about it. Like when I used to work with my dad installing refrigerators, dude, it was like back-breaking labor. It was like I would wake up at 6 a.m. to go to a warehouse to freaking. It was like basically from 6 a.m. to like probably 6 p.m. or like 7 p.m. sometimes. The earliest I would get home is like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. sometimes. But it was always the whole day. Fucking hella tired, hella sweaty, working hella hard, and then at most maybe like in a day I might make $150-$200, usually minimum $80 to $100. If I knew that I can just go walk into a store and grab $1,000 worth of merchandise and just go sell to some dude for $1,000, you know, for like $500, and within like an hour I'd do that shit too, you know what I mean? Like it's like, dude, like why would you bust your ass when you could like work smart, not hard?
Yeah, when I worked at Victoria's Secret, I've told you this, but I would like kind of be in the front area and like the front display where it's kind of peeking out of the store a little bit, not really.
Like there's like 2 racks or something like that.
The nice ass shit. People would literally just come and scoop it out and run out, and there's nothing we could do about it. You can't chase them, nor do I want to chase you.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Not worth it to me.
Just recently. I forgot. I think it was a Rite Aid or something like that. Some dude walked into like a pharmacy or a grocery store, and he tried to steal some random shit, like some beers or something. And some random cashier dude was like trying to stop him, and this dude shot him and killed the cashier. God. And it's like you gotta think about it. It's like that's not worth my. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's like go ahead, steal that shit. This place doesn't pay me enough. Like they're not paying me as a security guard. I'm not a security guard. I'm a cashier. You know, or I'm this person. Yeah. I'm not a fucking dude who stops crime.
I know, yeah, but working there, I've noticed that they don't really do anything about it, too. And that was a while ago, so I could only imagine how it is right now.
I wonder what the rules are, because like I remember when I was like, I remember I used to like steal bottles and stuff. Like I remember when I used to steal bottles to sell it to the Russian grandpas at our Plymouth Park to like buy weed money, to get weed money. God damn it, I forgot the point I was getting to. What were you just saying a second ago?
That nothing would happen to these people.
I don't remember.
And then you were saying that you used to buy bottles and sell them to Russian grandpas.
I used to steal bottles and sell them to Russian grandpas. But even then, like, you would get in a lot of trouble if you stole. I was gonna say is I remember hearing that security guards, like, what's it called? Like grocery store security guards, they're not allowed to physically touch you. Like even if you're like walking out with a bunch of product, their job is to like stand in front of your way and call the cops. You know what I mean? Like they're physically not allowed to touch you. But then also one of my friends, Alan, he tried to steal from a Gelson's, like a couple bottles, and there's like a video of him getting manhandled by a security guard, like slamming this fool.
Oh my
God. He was just like, let me go. And like the security guard, dude, we should pull up this video if we can find it, but I should ask Alan for it. It's super funny. Like Alan just gets fucking manhandled by security guard. And like I remember thinking like I thought they're not allowed to touch you. You know what I mean? But like it probably just depends on the person.
My mom, she was like the store director of a grocery store, and she would like hella people would steal from her all the time, hella bottles, anything really. And she would literally run out the store and chase people. Like she did not give a fuck.
I'm wondering, like, I would not do that.
I know. She's crazy. She, like, protected her store.
Was she like the manager or something like that?
Yeah, she was the store director, so
yeah, that's probably
she
why.
took it hella seriously. She didn't like people fucking with her shit.
If I was like one of the employees there, I would have been like, fuck it, dude. Like, I don't care. Like, whatever.
I think sometimes she would just be like, it's okay. But like sometimes, like if she was like, the person was fucking like mean as fuck or like just hella rude, like she would go after.
Dude, speaking of burglaries or committing crime, the other night, Rylee and I get driven to 7-Eleven by her brother, like at like 1 in the morning, God. 1 in the morning and 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And this is what area?
Antioch.
So I've seen memes like of how dangerous Antioch is, and Rylee tells me how dangerous Antioch is, but every time I've gone there, it seems to be fine and chill, you know, like doesn't seem anything crazy, but I haven't really spent a lot of time out there. Anyways, we go to this 7-Eleven like at 1 in the morning, and then I walk in, cashier dude is like super chill. He's like having conversation with this lady who's buying something from him, and I remember they're having this like funny ass conversation where I was like, damn, like the people out here are sick, like they're really like, you know, down to earth and just down to have a conversation. I never see people talking like that to a 7-Eleven clerk, you know, from LA or whatever. So I thought that was really interesting. And then some homeless dude walks in, and like he was looking super bugged out and sketchy, and the dude and like the lady left by then, and I was trying to ask the guy for a bugler for like rolling tobacco, and like he was super distracted, like looking after this like homeless dude, making sure he wasn't gonna steal anything or whatever. Anyways, I make my purchase. The homeless dude is still there. I'm like leaving the store. I get inside the car, and just as I get in the car, Rylee's brother's about to back out. Another car pulls up, and then from the passenger seat, one dude hops out with like a ski mask on, like all the way. And also out here, the mask mandate isn't like going, like it's not in order. Like you don't have to wear a mask out here. So we've gone to numerous stores, and I keep getting worried because I forgot my mask, and I keep like seeing everyone not wearing masks. Like I forget that they don't enforce that rule out here. So anyways, this dude walks in with the full ski mask on in a place where they're not enforcing the mask mandate, and no one's wearing masks out here.
And he's then like holding like under his sweatshirt.
Yeah, like he has like his hand in his sweatshirt, and then also like as he's like walking in, he's going like this. Like he kept like looking left and right, trying to see, like looking around the whole parking lot and everything. And then just as we were backing up, Riley's brother's like, looks like this was about to hit a lick.
Yeah,
and I was like,
about to hit a lick.
I was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, dude, it really does feel like it. And then as we were driving off, I felt like telling your brother, like, dude, I feel like we should chill right here and wait a second, because I was kind of worried for the store clerk, because he seemed like a cool guy, and it was just him, this homeless dude, and this dude who went in there looking hella sus, like he was about to rob the place.
That gas station or that 7-Eleven has always been sketchy, like my whole
Has it been
life.
Robbed before?
Fuck yeah, there's probably been shootings, robberies, hella sketch shit.
Have you ever gone there by yourself?
No, but me and my siblings used to walk there as kids.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But obviously
it's not far though.
It's gotten a lot worse, but recently in that area, my grandma's across the street neighbor, she was like she was walking around the corner to like the apartments on the other side of her street near the 7-Eleven, and she was buying weed, and there was a drive-by, and she got shot and killed just from buying. Like,
oh, you told me about this, like just accidentally.
And it was right around the corner from my grandma. I know.
Fuck that.
Like
shit.
That's normal shit. But it was crazy because I mean I feel like it's never happened to people like in that area, but I hear about like stuff going down in that area all the time.
You know what's funny too? After we Riley and I had to take an Uber today, and I know that's. Rest in peace. That was fucking crazy. But we had to take an Uber today, and some lady picked us up, and that the conversation we had with her was so interesting. Where every time I talk to someone who's from the Bay or like from up north, Northern California, and they talk about it. It feels like they always hype it up. You know what I mean? They're always like, oh, this music originated here. We started that, blah, blah. And I always feel like I've talked to other people from other parts of the world where you always try to hype up where you're from. You know what I mean? Like you always try to make it seem like super sick and legit and stuff like that. So I kind of felt like some of the stories I've heard about what it's like out here have been like slightly over exaggerated, especially from one of my coworkers. But talking to this lady, like she was repeating everything my coworker was telling me. She was like, I think I'm gonna close the blinds because it's getting really, really bright. Wait, hold on 1 second. Right?
Yeah, it is. It's starting to burn my eyes.
I feel like we're gonna get super whited out on screen.
Warm.
Geez, sorry.
Oh God.
But one of my coworkers was telling me, he was like, man, up in the Bay, he's like, fools don't care if you got if girls got a boyfriend. He's like, they'll try to take a girl right in front of you. They'll try to like put you in a situation where you gotta fucking defend your girl and stuff like that. And he was basically saying like, it's difficult to be in a relationship up here because all the dudes are gonna try to steal your girl, and it's kind of like an achievement for them where it's like a notch on their belt where they're like, yeah, I fucking fucked this girl, blah blah, or something like that. And then I remember always hearing this from him and thinking like, oh yeah, that's everywhere though. I know people like that in LA too. But then we got on this Uber ride with this lady today, and she was like looking at us, and she's like, oh, you guys are a cute couple, blah blah. She's like, don't go up to this area because all the girls in this area, they're like, boy, once they see you and they think they see you in a like a loving relationship, they're gonna try to break that shit up quick. Just to break it up.
They like to do it.
Yeah, they like to do it. It's like a thing they like to do or whatever. And then
like, we ain't going there.
And then she was saying the same thing about the guys. She was like, same thing with the guys. They're like, they love to fuck a girl who's in a relationship and like, kind of fuck that situation up or whatever. And I was like, this is exactly what my coworker was telling me about this area. It's all the same shit.
Oh my God.
It's
but
fucking
I do
crazy.
feel like that's everywhere. I feel like that's in LA.
I feel like now I'm starting to understand that it's like, dude, she was making it, the way she was describing Rylee and I being in a couple together, she's like the best thing you guys can do is just find another strong couple and like, just keep them in a tight circle. Like she was making it sound like we're like survivors in this fucking like one, like this land of single people fucking everyone they know.
Exactly.
Dude.
Jesus. I was like, okay, girl.
Dude, yeah, she was literally making it sound very dramatic.
If he's strong enough. I was like,
I know.
What?
That's what she said. She's like, not to say he's not strong enough, but the girls out here, they want to fuck up a good relationship.
I was like, oh my God, what is going on right now?
And she was literally making it sound like you're like in a fucking movie just trying to battle to keep your relationship together. Like all the forces out here are trying to keep us apart.
She was a good time.
I wonder if the statistics of cheating are higher in the Bay compared to LA. Like who cheats more?
God, probably
the Bay Area
LA.
or LA?
LA.
LA?
For sure.
For sure. What makes you say that?
Because it's LA.
Do you have any previous experiences that you can tell from?
But I feel like
I'm from LA and I feel like I'm trustable.
You're trustable.
You're trustable.
But I think it's way worse in LA than it is in the Bay.
I don't know.
I think it's bad everywhere. I think, yeah, it happens everywhere.
The Mac Dre's from the Bay.
Mac D-R-E.
The Mac. The biggest Mac of them all. So you have no topics.
How was your experience at my family party? Your first Mexican party?
Well,
it wasn't really a party, but a celebration of life.
I didn't feel out of place because, like I said, like I grew up in LA where all my best friends growing up were all basically like I was always, all my friends were always Hispanic. All my best friends were always Hispanic. And I've been to events like that many times. Like I've been to like kickbacks in the back like that where music's playing and we're making fucking, carne asada and shit. And we're like chilling. Like I've done that hella times. So when I was there, like I felt like, like that or whatever. I like, home a little bit. I kind of did think like that too because even when I was like sitting there, I was thinking like I used to live with like a Hispanic family for like a couple months or whatever and stuff like that when I was younger. And it's like I did feel like I was like, damn, like I'm Russian, like, and I do feel comfortable in a Russian environment, but I also like feel hella comfortable in a Hispanic environment too, because that's just what I grew up with.
Yeah.
It's like all my friends my whole life growing up were all Hispanic, so it's just like I did feel comfortable. I was like, this feels like normal, like back in the day.
Good. The reason that Yuri and I had to come to the Bay was because, unfortunately, my grandma has passed away. And that's kind of why I've been a little low energy this past 2 weeks and stuff, and not really having topics and stuff, because just a lot on my mind and stuff. So I apologize for the low energy and being weird the last couple episodes.
And I feel like some people have like noticed in like in their comments, but they're not like angry at you, but they've noticed that like something's off. And also this is something we want to
because I seen somebody comment like it seems like Rylee doesn't want to do 10 talks anymore, and like that's not true at all. It's like I'm just going through some stuff right now, and it's just been crazy.
That's something I told Rylee that I kind of wanted to talk about, is like to address all the comments in the last podcast, because usually all of our comments are just like about like not to say like, oh, I don't want negative comments, but it's like usually all the comments are like pretty positive. But the last podcast, there was like more comments talking about how I talk over Rylee a lot, and a lot of people are saying I'm mean to you and stuff like that. And I'm like, how am I mean to you? Like, what do I do that's mean to you? Like I don't know, like. Am I mean? Am I a mean person?
No, you're not a mean person.
And then a lot of the not a lot, but there was more comments saying like, it feels like Rylee's falling out of love with Yuri. It feels like Rylee's over Yuri. It feels like Rylee doesn't want to do 10 talks anymore and stuff like that. And then even after
it's because you were talking about me wearing different clothes. That's why people were saying that.
That too.
That's why everybody was talking about that.
That was a different topic though.
I was very low energy that week because she had just passed away, and that was like the next day I got back. But yeah, I think the negative comments were from your perspective on my outfit choices.
Which can I get someone that kind of understands me a little bit here, where it's like, obviously I don't want to be a controlling boyfriend telling you like what to do and what to wear and all that stuff, but like we were gonna do a podcast, and then like I saw what Rylee was gonna wear, and like I told Rylee, I was like, you should just wear it for the next one so everyone can see what it is. But like it was like a corset.
It was not a corset.
It was like a corset. Usually you put it on a corset and then you put something on top of it. But it was just like a corset, like where you could see the whole inside, middle was like all revealed, and like I was just like, I was like, you wear something else or whatever, and I just thought it was a little bit extreme. I don't know.
Oh my god, it was not a corset, and it was way more covered than you're explaining it. It was tied up.
It's like, I don't know. Is there any like, I don't know, is there like any limit of what's appropriate to wear, or not? Because like for a guy it's different. Guys aren't known as like sex fucking figures or something like that. Like girls are always known to be like, what's it called, sexual or not sexual, but like sexualized and stuff like that. But guys are just not good looking, you know what I mean? Like no one likes to look at a guy. It's weird.
What?
Why? What guys are you looking at?
You.
Oh no! Oh, you're definitely not looking at me.
Annie's looking at you.
Oh yeah, shout out to Annie in the chat. But it's like I can't come on here with tights and like my fucking tight ass shirt. Everyone's gonna be like, damn Yuri, like fucking
really?
Look at Yuri in today's podcast.
Guys are more vocal about it. Girls don't want to be like that.
I don't know, and that's why I told Rylee, I was like, wear what you want, I guess. The comments were, I always told myself the comments would never get to me, but after the last podcast, after it finished, like an hour later after I saw all those comments, I was like telling Rylee, I was like, are you out of love with me? I was like, do you still love me? I was like, do you hate me now? I was like, do you want to do 10 talks? And she's like, yeah, I do. Like, why are you tripping?
Oh my god.
Remember?
Yes.
I was asking all that.
You were freaking out.
Yeah, the comments are getting to me. I was like, damn, am I a bad boyfriend?
No.
Like, what the fuck?
No, but I think they were just
defending their queen.
Me.
Rylee can wear what she wants.
Let Rylee wear what she wants.
Yeah, but you know that some people, yes, are genuinely trying to defend, Rylee, trying to defend her rights to do what the fuck she wants, obviously. But some people are like trying to be trolly and be like, let her wear what she wants, knowing that they're gonna enjoy the next podcast when you actually wear the thing that I didn't want you to wear.
Be quiet. But also, thank you to everybody who messaged me on Instagram saying they're sorry.
Aww.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, it was a difficult time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
For sure.
Life is crazy. Enjoy the moments you have with the people you love.
Yeah, 100%. What's crazy is when we were doing the 24-hour stream, that's kind of like when you were starting to hear like certain news about it.
Yeah, it was like that. Like during that night, my dad had told me like my grandma was sick with cancer and it was like getting really bad. And so that night he was like texting me, like telling me that there's not really anything else they could do. She can't eat anymore because if she like eats or drinks, she could choke. So like they were gonna completely cut her off. So
and at that
pretty
point,
much you're just starving and dehydrated to death. At
that point, I started feeling so like bad crazy for doing the 24-hour stream. I was like, dude, this is the worst time for us to do this. And then someone, one person in the chat, like you were on the, you were like standing behind. I think it was when Lucha and Peach were there.
Yeah,
you
I
were
had to leave.
you were on. Yeah, you had to leave it and get on the phone, and then someone in the chat wrote like, "What happened? It seems like someone passed away," and I was like people could tell, you know, like there was like this awkward, not awkward, but like not like, you know, this. The vibe was like,
damn, that's crazy. That was literally the last time I talked to her. My brother gave me the phone, and I got to talk to her because she was like starting to get out of it. I guess after that day, like she was like pretty much completely out of it, didn't really know what was going on and stuff. So I'm glad I got to talk to her that night, and yeah, say it, I love you. And it's crazy. I don't even know, like I just have a lot on my head.
Yeah,
I'm kind of all over the place.
But that's at that point also, when I knew you got on the phone, I felt like I was like, should we like end the 24-hour stream? And also it was hard because I couldn't get off camera for too long, but I wanted to be like should we just like end this? But then it's like, it's such a weird, I don't know, it was just like horrible timing for everything.
Yeah.
But and even now it's like, it was kind of like, you know, we want to keep the podcast consistent, but it was kind of weird like wanting to do this podcast still, you know, on this weekend or whatever during this weekend.
But I feel like we've just been missing and like having to do different times. And
yeah, exactly.
Like it's just, yeah, I felt like we should just do it.
Haven't been able to stream as often.
Mm-hmm.
But on just to change the subject to something a little bit more positive, we got a new refrigerator.
Yay!
Riley and I, the past 3 weeks, have only been using a tiny little mini refrigerator that had like sriracha and soy sauce in it. And like that's it. Had nothing in it. Dude,
one seltzer.
You don't, I posted this on Instagram, but you don't realize how bad you fucking need a refrigerator until you go without it for 3 weeks. Like, it's so expensive, dude. Like, we were literally, breakfast, lunch, and dinner was like, you know, we're always in a rush, so it's like we don't have time to like, and like we don't have enough storage space in our mini fridge, so it's like we were forced to basically go eat out every single day, and it was getting so expensive.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I'm so glad that we can finally go back to like eating healthy food, and then finally not spending freaking, you know, $50 a day or $60 a day on food.
I know. I feel like since we've been eating out every single day, food hasn't just like, it doesn't taste as good.
Like what? Eating out?
Yeah.
Really?
Like,
you want a good home cooked meal?
Yes, I want a home cooked meal.
I know. We actually haven't had a home cooked meal in a minute.
It's so bad.
It's gonna be so. What's gonna be the first thing we make?
I don't know. Steaks. Enchiladas.
Wait, didn't we make steaks already?
Yeah, we did.
You made them.
Yeah,
they were delicious.
They're all right. You're about to say.
I was not gonna say they're all right.
No, Yuri makes he makes a way better steak than I do. I make amazing potatoes. He does the steak.
I never realized that in my mind whenever I went to like a restaurant and I ordered like a steak or whatever. I always thought like the steak was sitting there for hella long, you know, like cooking, and then finally it's done. But in reality, like, the amount of time you cook a steak is so short. It's only like 4 minutes or 5 minutes. You have to have a steak sitting out before you cook it for like 10 to 20 minutes, so it has to reach like room temperature because you don't want to put a cold steak on there. And then you literally only do 2 minutes on one side, 2 minutes on the other, and then the steak has to sit for another 10 minutes before you eat it. So it's just like, a lot of the times you're waiting at a restaurant for your steak to get done, it's just sitting there. Mm-hmm. It's just like chilling. Marinating, exactly. But I take making the steak super seriously. Like, I want that perfect crust.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Perfect sear.
Like that perfect crust. And then honestly, like, my whole, like, every time I've gone to steaks, I've never been to get steaks often, but like when I was younger and I would like get steaks, I would always do medium well or like well done. And then recently, around the time I got with Riley, I've been experimenting with doing rare and like, not rare, but like medium. What's it called?
Medium rare?
Medium rare. And then I did rare one time, and I'm starting to realize that, like, at first I was thinking like I really love the blood, but now I'm starting to realize that I do like a kind of a more medium, you know, well, like medium well thing. Mm-hmm. Like I want them, like I want them to be a little bit of blood, but like not super chewy. Like it starts to make me feel nauseous when I start chewing through it, and I start like thinking like, this ain't even a steak. Like, I'm just chewing raw meat. Like, it starts feeling weird to me. Like, you know?
I think so, too. I have to have mine cooked. I hate the blood.
It tastes good, though. It honestly, it does add so much flavor.
You need a little bit, but I don't like it red as hell.
Like, dude, if anyone in the, like, who's watching this has like, if your whole life you've always done well done, dude, try one time. Try medium well or like a medium rare.
Just medium.
Like, dude,
Medium's
that little burst of blood or like extra like juice still left in the steak that's not sizzled away, it makes such a difference. Like, I remember my first time trying a medium rare or whatever, I was like, dude, this is so fucking good. And that's what made me want to try a rare, but rare is too fucked up.
Blue rare,
bro. We talked about this last time when we went to a restaurant. And they were like, they always tell you like, oh, how do you want your steak? And I said rare, and they were like, we do blue rare. And I was like, damn, blue rare. I was like, I'll take that blue. It sounds all fancy and like sapphire-y and like sick shit. Like, you know, it just sounds like cool. It just sounds fucking blue rare. I never heard of that before. So I was like, all right.
The veins, the blue rare.
Bro, that's literally what the fuck they mean. And then, dude, we when we were at this restaurant, we were under like such dim lighting. Like there was like under like a candlelight. It was very, very dim. And I remember when I cut my steak in half and I looked at the middle, I instantly was like, I'm not looking at the steak anymore. Like, I'm gonna eat it with. It was almost like walking on the edge of a building and you're like, I'm not looking down, because it actually was blue. It actually was so uncooked. Like, literally there was like a centimeter of cooked skin or cooked meat on the fucking edge where they literally probably went and like put it to the side. It was so barely cooked, dude. And then as I was chewing it, like, I could feel the fibers like holding on to each other. Like, it wasn't even like, you know, tender. Like, the fibers were holding on to each other, and I was like chewing through the fibers. And at one point I was like thinking like, I'm just eating a raw steak. Like, it's not even cooked at all. It was so bad. But this was Valentine's Day, so like I took Rylee to a nice restaurant and it was a very expensive dinner. So in my head I was like, I'm not wasting this steak. I'm gonna eat this shit. And I was like,
told you so.
It was torturous.
Should we shout out the Patreons? My dad's on his way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Before we shout out the Patreons, I want to give a huge shout out to our podcast sponsor, Stay Grounded. He literally just re-upped on another month. Like, I'm not even in communication with this person, but he's like continuously supporting the podcast, like, every month, dude. So
Thank you so much.
I'm not even sure if it's a he. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but it just huge shout out to the Instagram account Stay Grounddead, Grounddead. Yeah, Grounddead, DEAD. So it's basically an Instagram page about fashion. If you guys are into buying, you know, clothes, like really cool looking clothes, and are looking for new brands, or if you guys own a brand and you guys want to like promote it and get like some more new eyes on it, get some feedback on it, this is a great Instagram account to check out. A lot of people that I know from LA that are really tapped into the fucking fashion world, they're all following this page. It's actually like a legit ass page. So it's even crazy that they even want to work with us, because I feel like they're way bigger than we are, you know, because they actually have like a huge Instagram following. But either way, I want to give a huge shout out to Stay Grounded. If you guys fuck with us, please just go check out their Instagram account. If you guys can, leave a follow or leave a like on one of their photos or a comment to one of their photos saying like shout out from Ten Talks or something like that, just to show them that they're getting some sort of engagement from, you know, financially supporting us. So huge shout out to Stay Grounded. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
And then I want to give a huge shout out to all of our Patreons. We need to bring on a Patreon.
I know.
Next episode, we need to bring a Patreon out. So guys, if you're a part of the Patreon, please message me on patreon.com, and we're gonna pick one of you guys to come on the show next episode, which I think will be really interesting. But I want to give a huge shout out to all of you: Tashina Tony, to Dogue, Notori Restoration, Denim Chicken 209, Austin F, DJ 65, Tyler A, Zach Shiken, Gabe G, Jazzy, Coffee Sosa 11, Hens, Rocco Blast, James Steyer, Uncle Deli, Miguel 07, Senor 510, Trevor R Brown, Johnny Taku, Russell Z, Kyle, Trey Block Bow, Bay Rain Beats, Ethereal Techniques, Feel Fuzz Josh, Jeremy Romance. Thank you guys so much for supporting us, supporting the podcast. We're always trying to keep consistent. Every fucking Sunday we're trying to do these episodes.
Thank you so much.
Keep up to date with you guys. And then also I've just been missing you guys in the chat. I've been missing going on stream and just like talking to them. The thumbnail hasn't been updated yet. It doesn't even say episode 32 because I don't have Photoshop installed on this computer right now, but I will install it very soon, and then we will we're basically going to change the thumbnail tomorrow. So I apologize about the thumbnail not being updated. But wait, hold on, where the fuck did the chat go? Let's do a quick, how long until your dad gets here?
Probably like 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay, let's read through the chat really quickly. Huge shout out to Daniel. What's up, man? Janique Olzwelski last. What are you talking about? Huge shout out to Man and Gabe, dude. What's up, man? Thank you so much, Bojanga Sean, for the $3. Yuriy a sexy beast. Thank you, dude. What the hell? Thank you so much, Bojanga Sean, for the $3, dude.
Are you in a hotel?
Yes, we are in a hotel. I can also see your fam, Rylee.
Are you guys going out to Oh, thank you, Jet Set. Dinner. We're gonna have dinner at my cousin's house, I think.
What about Buppy Rick? Who's that?
Who?
Buppy?
I don't know.
I don't know who that
Buppy
is.
Rick?
Talking about the Instagram situation with Rylee.
Thank you, everybody.
What Instagram situation? Oh, the fucking thing. No, let's not talk about it. Thank you, Daniel. Yuri Shotos. Bro, I'm on the Patreon. Dude, thank you so much, Nibby. Please message me on Patreon if you want to come on for the next podcast. Yuri Matt Sexy. Thank you so much, Board Adrian. Love you both, and thank you for doing this podcast. Send me pics. Yuri getting the crumbs. Rylee, I love you. This is the OnlyFans trailer. Why you so pressed? This is the debut of the OnlyFans. Yuri can't high value. He's a simp. A woman don't like a simp. A woman don't like a man in a dress. No cap. Condolences. You're not good enough to dominate Rye.
What?
Come on, let's hope Rylee is genuine. With that being said, hot tub stream.
Why are you so pressed? The chat's going crazy.
I know. Who's pressed? Rate your job 0 to 10. 20. Bro, go watch Snake Eyes. I don't know who that is. But anyways, guys, we're sorry for the short podcast. Jesus Christ, it's cops. That's not. We're sorry for the short podcast. But we just wanted to do this, every Sunday. Wanted to keep consistent, even if it is a short one. So next one is definitely gonna be a long one, and we're gonna be back in the studio. 2 hour for sure, minimum, plus the after show. Rylee, if you don't leave Yuri already, you know what they're gonna say about you.
What?
What? Yuri behind the scenes, goat. Thank you so much, Ultimate Gohan.
Are you guys going to Rolling Loud in LA?
Fuck no.
Please.
Adam stayed at the same hotel, Little Palm.
Oh my god.
Have a good night, campers. Facts.
Right.
Have a good night, campers. Thank you so much to everyone who pulled up. I'm sorry about the random set. If it looks weird that we're in a bed like this and there's like all this dead space in front, but
we gotta do what we gotta do.
We should have did this, but this is weird too. My leg would have fell asleep. All right, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna end the podcast here, and then we'll see you next week.